This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
We kick off the new year by taking a look back at some of the biggest stories from last year with a local newspaper reporter. Happy New Year, everyone! I hope you're enjoying some pork and sauerkraut or anything really. I have some drunken noodles waiting for me, but most importantly, I hope your day is filled with joy. I'm Ken Kara, and here's your local information. The Lehigh Valley Health Network will provide the COVID-19 vaccine for the community free of charge. As of Tuesday, LVHN vaccinated around 8,000 members of their frontline staff, and they received 9,000 more doses of the vaccine. According to LVHN President and CEO Brian Netter, the vaccine will be made available to the public in the coming months when supplies are made available for mass vaccination. To stay updated on the vaccine in the area, sign up for the MyLVHN service by downloading the MyLVHN app or going to mylvhn.org. Standard Speaker reporter Ken Jackson has covered many important stories in 2020, and he shares some of his thoughts now with our Janine Lasant in her Year in Review series.
SSPTV News, working with our partners at the Standard Speaker in the city of Hazleton. Kent Jackson is one of our good friends and reporters there. Kent, what a year 2020 has been.
We haven't seen the like of it in our lifetime, maybe our grandparents and great-grandparents, but for us, this was all new with the pandemic.
Yeah, we wanted to touch base because it has been quite a year for all professions, especially for us in the journalism field with reporting on things like the pandemic, COVID, and we wanted to touch base with you to just talk about some of the highlights of 2020.
Yeah, the pandemic dominated the news, and it affected everything from city government to our schools, to our businesses, large and small, in the local industrial parks, to our malls and our mom and pop stores.
Then what we know now in 2020, in March, we're thinking, oh, this will be temporary. We'll be off of work for 2 weeks. The state will close down, the country will close down, so to speak, and then we'll be back to normal. And that normal never came to fruition in 2020, where we're seeing mandated of masks, we're seeing social distancing, we're even seeing the shutdowns of stay indoors in Pennsylvania. So reporting through this, and as we get through the virtual learning, the virtual work from home, this is something that, again, is definitely historic in our day and age.
Right, we're still waiting to see the new normal, maybe sometime in 2021. But for reporters like me and you, it's been nice to be able to do video calls like this. It's safer and it's been convenient. A lot of phone calls, but there have been times where I've had to go out and cover a Black Lives rally and some other events where you take all the precautions you can, but you're still a little leery. And my colleagues, especially our photographer, Warren Ruda, has had to be in more of these events because you can't take a picture without being on the scene.
So talk about some of those most memorable stories that you've had to cover, whether it dealt with crime, whether it dealt with politics, whether it dealt with school or, city government. Tell us about some of the highlighted stories for 2020 and how it played a different role this year with how you were able to cover those stories.
With city government, starting out at the beginning of the pandemic, I think that when the city and Hazel Township and West Hazleton, the neighboring municipalities, put on a curfew, in a sense, it was just saying you had to be home after dark and you weren't supposed to have more than 4 people in a group. It wasn't something that helped so much because the police were arresting people for violating curfew, but it was the idea that telling people, hey, this is serious. We're doing what we can to let you know, just with the word curfew, that this isn't a normal situation. And I think that helped us get indoors a little bit and perhaps made people realize that it was necessary to take precautions for all our protection from then on. And our cases did go down following that, at least until the fall again when we had the second spike.
going into 2021, especially in my experience with dealing with small businesses, dealing with parents, that you've seen the frustration increase from March till now, because first it was a temporary thing, and now it feels like, when is this pandemic ever going to have a break, some relief? Hopefully with the vaccine coming out, we will be seeing some relief come spring and summer of 2021.
We sure hope so. And people have been showing frustration, but they've also been showing resiliency. Think of the parents who have become teachers while trying to do their own work from home. Think of our hospital workers, our doctors and nurses. They're still under tremendous pressure, long hours. They may be sick themselves and not have as many people who can fill in if one of them does get COVID-19 and they have to quarantine. And it's been a challenge that they've risen to. For small businesses, some have gone to takeout, and we've tried to help out local restaurants by getting food that way. But there are some things like the movie theaters and performances, even social clubs, that haven't been able to do what they usually do. And we're hoping that when the pandemic lifts, they can return and still have the wherewithal to reopen.
Today's news feature is brought to you by Workforce Resources Inc. of Hazleton, in business since 2013, located in West Hazleton. If you're looking for a job, call them at 570-454-8810 and find out how you can apply for specific jobs, including skilled positions and warehousing. Full-time and part-time opportunities are available.
Thank you, Janine and Kent. The Standard Speaker has been taking a look back at the biggest local stories from 2020 this week. You can view those articles at standardspeaker.com. If you missed any of Janine's Year in Review series, head to SSPTV.com or the SSPTV YouTube channel to get caught up.
Time now for weather on SSPTV News.
We keep 2021 going with some okay weather. Here's our forecast from the National Weather Service. On Saturday, it's mostly cloudy with highs near 50. Saturday night, a 40% chance of snow showers after 1 a.m., mostly cloudy with lows in the 30s. Sunday, there's a 40% chance of snow showers before 1 p.m., mostly cloudy with highs in the 30s. Sunday night, mostly cloudy with lows in the 20s. On Monday, it's mostly sunny with highs in the 30s. Monday night, partly cloudy with lows in the 20s. Then on Tuesday, it's mostly sunny with a high near 40. We have a lot coming your way, including my interview with Joe and Jay Madden as they were helping out at the Hazleton One Community Center. In the SSPTV Spotlight, we have a clip from our show Mass for Inspiration, and next, a story about a service that will help you find the college that's the perfect fit for you. The Lehigh Valley Health Network has 2 testing sites for COVID-19 in the Hazleton area. There's one at Coordinated Health at 26 Station Circle in Hazel Township and one at 140 North Sherman Court in Hazleton. The hours at both are Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Make sure to bring your personal ID and insurance card with you. For the latest up-to-date information on LVHN assess and test locations, go to lvhn.org/COVID-19.
The Miller Keystone Blood Center has an emergency need for O-positive and O-negative blood donors. If you would like to donate, you can call 1-800-BA-DONOR or you can go to giveapint.org.